Oh my god. Oh god, it's a swimming pool. Oh my god, there's another one. Oh god. It's gonna get me. Unless I don't go in it, which most likely not because it's winter. Oh my god. Get it the hell away! Hey guys, what is up? I hope you enjoyed that little intro because today I am reviewing a movie that really wants you to be scared of a swimming pool. That's not a joke, and it's Night Swim. You know, when I hear shit like this comes out and I'm like, that seems like it could be kind of creepy, could be kind of scary a little bit. I've heard it's based on a short film. I've never actually seen the short film. I assume it's better than this, but yeah, I actually didn't see this movie right away. Actually, I saw it last week, a couple days after I saw Argyle, and what a double feature. I saw one movie that wasn't great, and then I saw a movie that was pretty dog shit, if I'm being quite honest. Oh man, Night Swim. I'll talk about more in a sec, but man, I guess I'll get this out of the way. Wasn't looking forward to this movie. Kind of. I feel like in the last couple of years with January movies, January for a long time, in case you don't know, was basically the dumping grounds of movies. And what I mean by that is there was just so much garbage that would come out in the first month of the year, January. January is the dumping, was at one point, and still kind of is, the dumping ground of just pure garbage of movies. And that's kind of like, it's still a thing. And like, I remember years ago we had the, what was it, the Texas Chainsaw 3D, we had that Devil Inside, I think Paranormal Activity had a January release, right, for the marked ones. Well, then again, I heard people actually kind of like that movie because it's more of a cult following over the years. But this is Blumhouse's latest attempt, and I was like, you know what, I'll give this a chance because it could be, it might not be great, but it might be decent at the very least. I mean, Megan came out last year, M3, if you want to call it that, which I didn't think that was great, but it was better than what it was, I thought it was going to be, I'll give it that, but yeah, let's talk about Night Swim. Oh boy. Okay, now the story for Night Swim follows the story of a family who are currently looking for a new home. They're kind of struggling to find it because recently the father, who was a pretty well-known baseball player, unfortunately he's not really able to play the game baseball anymore because he has a brain condition that causes him to not, I guess a lot of his motor skills to not work as well anymore. They never really say what it is, but he's struggling with it. And soon the family discover a house that has a pool, and he's like, this doesn't seem that bad. And at first, everything is great until they realize that the pool, there's something up with the pool, because something years ago happened that caused the people to move out and never touch the pool again. And that's pretty much the story, and as the film goes on, they realize more and more eerie stuff about the pool, and they soon realize that the pool is haunted, and the reveal of what happens, I'm going to talk about that in a sec, it's just not, like, I was just like, seriously, that's what happened? Like, it was, but yeah, I'll spoil it if you guys, I'm not gonna, I don't know if I'll spoil it, probably won't, but in case you want to watch it, but that's the story for Night Swim, and now now the family has to find a way to stop the pool. That's basically the story. It's a very generic story, not an interesting one at all, but I'll get into that in a sec. Now, I remember that joke I made at the beginning of this video where I said I was trying to be scared of a pool. I know there are some people who are afraid of water, aquaphobia, which that's a perfectly understandable fear. The problem with this movie is it does absolutely nothing with its concept. And when the movie started, I was thinking, maybe, like, when I first heard about the movie and I heard it's like about a haunted pool, I'm like, well, maybe it's kind of like there was like a murder, like kind of like, remember in the first Sinister, that scene, one of the 8mm films in the first Sinister, you had that family drown in the pool? I was thinking maybe like there was something that happened with the family where maybe like there was like a killer and now they're haunting the pool. It is nothing like that. I was like, that would have at least not been very original, but at least it would have made sense. And like when you do see the spirit, like it's like it looks like like this black sludge just, which granted that does happen. You'll see a pool with black sludge in it sometimes. But I was just like, what the, in the, like this, it doesn't help that the CGI in the movie for like the spirit when it does possess the dad, it looks like shit. It looked like literal liquefied shit. I was just like, what the, who what? And when it got to like the end of the twist, it was just like, I was like, what? That makes no sense. And it's just like, I'm like, you could have at least did something. But this movie was such a fucking nothing burger of a movie that you just sit there and you're like, what the hell was the point? But let's move on to the acting. Acting wise, the main real star in this film is, from what I know, I've never really seen any of the other actors in this, is Wyatt Russell. And I think he seems like he's a good actor. I liked him in Overlord. I thought he was decent in what he was in Captain America and or Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, whatever you want to call it. I thought he was good in the movie. When he does start to go crazy, he does kind of he shows some emotion. You do kind of feel bad for him for what he's going through, because you're like, damn, that really sucks, because he's going through something, like he's losing the one thing he loves the most, which is baseball. He can't play it anymore, and you kind of see that, but the whole movie feels like such a weird, like it doesn't really focus on the family. Like you really don't know what's going on. It's mostly focused, like the rest of the family, it's not really about them. I mean, the son kind of freaks out. He's kind of scared of the pool. So is the sister, the daughter. But the whole thing just feels just like such a nothing burger of a movie. And the ending and how they stop the whole haunted pool, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But when you realize, like, with what goes on, like, it's just such a nothing burger of a movie, and it is a terrible movie. Like, I would not recommend you see this at all, but I'm gonna get into that in a sec. Overall, like, I just think this movie, like, if you're gonna make a movie about a swimming pool that's like haunted, go for it. I've heard it's a short film, which I've heard the short film is pretty good. Like, it's not like this is kind of, it could have been like a lights out situation where the short film was good and the full feature length film was decent. There ain't nothing like that here. Like most of the time, none of the characters are really that interesting. The dad, like they try to make the dad interesting, but they just don't really work. It's just such a mess of a movie, and it wasn't fun. It was boring, and when I got to the ending, I was just like, that's really how you're going to end it, and I hope to God there's never a sequel. I think this movie made money because it's a PG-13 horror film released in January. I don't even know what I was expecting, but this film just straight up was boring as hell. It's not the worst horror movie I've ever seen, which maybe one day I'll talk about The Darkness, with that shitty one with Kevin Bacon, but maybe one day. But this was still pretty damn bad. It's maybe one of the worst films I've seen this year so far, which I've seen Argyle and this, and the third movie I'm going to talk about soon. That's pretty high on that list, but overall, not a great start to 2024 for movies. Really hoping March is good for movies. We got a lot coming out then, but anyways, that's my review for Night Swim. I know this was really short, but I just don't really have much to say about this. It's a nothing movie. Like, nothing comes from it, and it's just such a dull waste of time, and it's just not fun at all. Anyways, that was my review for Night Swim. Did you watch it? Let me know what you guys think of it. But anyways, Night Swim, or like Night Shit, or Shit Swim. Fuck, I screwed that up. Damn it. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.